Hello, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for this NutriChef air fryer. It's bought from Amazon for about $105, I think it is, Canadian. I'll put a link in the description, so if anybody's interested in buying it, that's where it can be found. So I'll just open it up and we'll see what's inside. Let's see, I haven't used an air fryer before. I mean, one of the main reasons is for healthy, crispy food, fried food. But we'll see if this actually works the way it's advertised. And I guess there's just a box inside a box. And there you have PC. So yeah, it's a NutriChef air fryer. It's a something style. That's all I can read. Air healthy food fryer, which is the infrared convection cooker. That's the main idea, I guess, is the infrared cooking, and hopefully all the parts are in. So right from the beginning, you've got like a mesh tray to put stuff on, and this is the lid, the actual part that does the cooking. And you can see the handle, different settings for time and for heat. And basically the way the handle works is when it's up, the thing's off. When it's down, the thing is gonna work. Yeah, and yeah, just those clips are for keeping it from going up and down, I guess. And then you have on here just some quick notes, I guess, about different cooking speeds, temperatures and times. Probably it's not that easy to read, but yeah, it basically just tells you different cooking instructions. Just for a few foods like chicken and potatoes, and they even have a picture of cupcakes on here, so that would be interesting. I'll have to look up some recipes for that. And then just a power cord, get the styrofoam. Okay, it's just a registration card. Manual. And here's two more wired racks. And yeah, let me just move some stuff around here. Get the main bowl out, and that's just there are other air fryers that have smaller bowls or smaller places to put the food, but it's not open, so you can't see the food cooking to know when it's done. And also they don't look like they hold a lot, and so I like the big bowl. That's really just the main bowl, pretty straightforward there. And then there's this extender and the holder for the bowl, which no, it doesn't go that way. That doesn't match the picture. So the extender is supposed to go on the top. Take the bowl out, and yeah, I'm not sure why it came packed like that. Like, you have to kind of get the extender out. Basically, just kind of pull the stand apart a bit to make room, and then get the extender piece out. And then I'm not sure why it has those containers, because those aren't on the picture. Or not containers, handles. And then, yeah, you can put the extender just sitting on top. And then you can put your lid on top. Put your, whatever trays you want in there. And put your lid on top. Let's see what the manual has. It's very flimsy. Like, there's only a few pages, so there's not much to it. It's basically, like, they don't even really tell you in here how to, like, the part about the extender and what, why I would want to use those vents. They're just there. But it doesn't tell me why I would want to use those. Like, if you turn it, they're vents. They open up air to the bowl. And you can turn it and, close it. But there's no instructions saying which you want to use. Do you want to use it closed or do you want to use it open? What kind of cooking for which one you want to do? Doesn't say. So the instructions are pretty poor. They don't really have a lot of information in there. They're, as far as I can tell, like, it's just basic stuff. There's a thing on the back that has some information about, like, just general cooking instructions, like 20 minutes for potatoes, that kind of thing. But basically the same kind of thing that's already on the lid. So nothing new, nothing that informative. But overall, it is, it's an instruction manual. I think kind of have to look some things up to get more information about what, something that will actually be helpful. So as far as the manual goes, pretty disappointing. Not very informative, and doesn't really say a lot of helpful information. Now, as far as trying out the air cooker, I'm going to test it out now. Just do something simple, just some potatoes, and that'll be it. Well, actually, fries. I'll try fries. Again, there's nothing in the manual about fries. There's some general stuff in here about, like, how to steam, how to barbecue, basic things like that. There's also a washing setting, and then there's the basic settings for the different foods. But other than that, not much. So like I said, I'll cook some fries and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they're good. Okay, so after filling around with it a little bit more, I found out some more information about how to put this thing together. So this is the bottom tray, and that just sits in the bottom. And this is an extension tray, so you put that on there, and it'll give you like an extra tray. So, and this here is to pull out the trays when they're hot. So you can just pull it out like that when you have food in it. And especially if you need to, like, flip stuff over, things like that. So like I said, I'm just going to try potatoes. According to their instructions, it's 20 minutes. I'm going to cut these 5 russet potatoes into wedges and fit them on this tray here, and then we'll see. It takes about 20 minutes, so we'll see what happens after that and how crispy they are. If they're not crispy, like, you can tell by looking how crispy they are. I'll leave them in for a little bit longer until you can actually visually see that they're crispy and see how long that takes. Okay, so for my first one, I decided to keep things simple. I'm actually going to use this extender and the mesh because I don't think those trays work really good for fries. The mesh does, and it seems to fit good in this extender. It just doesn't fit good in the glass bowl. So it's very simple. It's just potato wedges and some garlic salt on them, and that's it. No oil. We're not supposed, the whole point of this is to not use oil.
I know there are some other recipes that have you do things like boil them first and things like that, and maybe I'll try that later. But to me, this is supposed to be a simple thing, and cooking it twice doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, I bought this so I can just cook my food once. So that's what I'll do. Okay, and what happens is once you set the time and everything, when you close the lid, that's when it actually comes on. So it's at the max temperature, yeah. And then it's supposed to be 20 minutes for potatoes. Interesting that the timer starts before the lid is closed, but the heat doesn't. Because you can hear it ticking. But yeah, so I'll close this. And there you see it started. So 20 minutes, that's what it's supposed to take. So that's what I'll give it. I'll check on it for sure, just to make sure it's going the way it's supposed to. I see that there's a couple of wedges that are really close to this. Doesn't look like any of them are actually physically touching. So it should be okay. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on it, and in 20 minutes I'll check on it. Okay, so I kind of made a mistake with the amount of time because I was actually getting that from a recipe. If you go by the manual, it's actually it's actually 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, I did check, and they don't seem to be too crispy. You can see some of the potato skins have kind of swollen up. Although it looks like, yeah, they seem to be pretty crispy. I just cool them off, and I'll try them. Okay, so they cooled down a little bit, and I'll just try. See a little piece. Okay, it's not super crispy in the middle, which is good. That's kind of how I like them. Yeah, it's cooked good. It's a fry. I mean, it does taste like a fry, and all I did was put some garlic salt on it, as far as flavoring goes. But yeah, you can see how easily they come apart. And yeah, it's not soggy or anything in the middle. Yeah, it just tastes like a plain fry. So it works. That's good. I just have to try out some. I'll have to actually look up recipes. That's the disappointing part, is that this didn't come with any kind of recipe book or anything like that. And it does have a self-clean feature, but it's kind of listed at the back of the book, like in kind of hidden. But it's basically, you put about 2 cups of water in it, and you turn it on 100 degrees for 10 minutes, and that's the self-cleaning feature that it comes with. So yeah, I'll eat these fries, and then try again with a different kind of recipe. Try and get more complicated next time, because this was pretty basic, pretty much the most basic recipe you can do. Just chop up some potatoes and throw them in here for 15-20 minutes. And like I said, I didn't use any oil or anything like that. I know that there are some recipes out there where they say to use, well, what they actually suggest is you boil it first. I guess that produces some crispier fries, and there's like different kind of stuff that you can dip the fries in before you cook them. I saw one recipe where you dip it in like French onion soup mix, which seemed interesting. I'd like to try that out. But other than that, yeah, it's a good good thing to have for some quick oilless or, just recipes that don't require a lot of oil. And or where normally they would, but you don't want to use a lot of oil. So I'll put a link in the description for how to buy